Now we're gonna go over exactly how I built a big chest fast. I've always been a skinny guy trying to bulk up. Now I don't have the biggest chest on the internet, I don't have the biggest chest in the world, but I certainly have a bigger chest than this guy right here, which I was when I started my fitness journey. That's why I feel that I have decent advice, and no disrespect to anyone, but a lot of big guys that give this sort of advice, they have insane genetics and they've never gone through the problem. So what I want to do in this video is to specifically share what works best for me from someone who is in the same position as you are right now. And one more thing before we begin, you can get access to the exact workout that I used to build my body from this to this. I've put everything I know in there. Go click that once you're ready. All right, let's do this. So no bullshit guide, what worked very, very well for me. So from the beginning, I want to make it clear that I didn't have access to any fancy equipment, to any fancy gym, to any fancy exercises or type of that. So when I say that, I mean that I didn't have access to, a good example of this is this type of exercise, this type of bar or whatever it's called. I think it's called cambered bar or something. So the difference between this and the normal regular bar for the bench press is that the normal bar goes from this, goes directly here. So it restricts your range of motion. So basically how much gains you're gonna make. The way that this bar is different from the regular bar is that here, as you can see, it goes up and then it goes down again. So what that does is it gives you a greater range of motion, so more muscle, you can have a bigger stretch, you can get more muscle growth activated. So that's one. Then I did not use the popular bench press with the bar. So I did not use this and did not do the popular bench press that everyone is doing. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying I didn't use it to build my body and to build my chest. So what I did was to use only 3 exercises, and specifically dumbbell flat press. So on a flat bench with dumbbells, machine press, regular machine flat press, and then a pec deck. Those are the only ones that I did. I'm gonna give you more, but the only ones that I did. What I did and worked very well for me was training chest overall 2 times per week. So when I say overall, I mean not specifically the upper chest or the middle chest or the lower chest, training the overall chest. I didn't think of, oh, I'm training the upper chest today. No, I just trained my chest, all right? I had 2 exercises per workout for the chest. So if I would train on Monday and Thursday, I would do 2 exercises on Monday and 2 exercises on Thursday. Then the next thing, I would change 1 exercise from session to session. So from those 2 exercises, Monday and Thursday, I would keep 1 and I would change the other one. I'm going to show you how to do that in the next slides. And also control the weight, but really push to failure. So that means that I would train I would be very careful when training, but still push to failure. So either I have someone to spot me, to catch my shoulders or my elbows if I would fail, or just be aware of what's happening, not just pushing to doing nonsense just to break the form and something like that. So I would keep the proper form as much as I could, because remember, I would do dumbbell flat press, and if you do heavy flat press, it's very, very easily to get an injury for your shoulders or to tear your chest and things like that. So I didn't want to get an injury. So control the weight every single time, but close to failure, if not to failure. Sometimes I would just train till failure. I would get to a point where I did enough reps and I couldn't push anymore. So at that point, I would just get up. What I would do different next time. So if I would start again from scratch, what I would do different. If you have access, instead of the machine flat press, I would do the incline machine press, all right? Just to get some more focus on the upper chest. We're gonna talk about that too. So I would do that. Then I would also experiment with different rep ranges, all right? So not only, 10 to 15, but also I would experiment to 5 to 10, maybe 10 to 15, 15 to 20, something like that, just to experiment what gives me the best work for my chest. Then stick to the same exercises for longer. So not doing the same exercises for 3 weeks and then change the exercises. No, you don't do that. The way you want to do it is you want to pick the best exercises, like I did, and then you stick to those for a longer period of time and you progressive overload on those. You get better at those. And then I would start tracking my workouts from the very beginning. Most beginners do this mistake. They start training and they don't track their workouts because it's hard, it's overwhelming, they don't know how to do it. But I have the solution for you. So now I'll walk you through the exact steps to build your chest as fast as you can. A bit of training anatomy. I'm not going to keep this too long. I'm not going to bore you with this. This is the only slide about anatomy, I promise. So I think it's important for you to know which muscle you're training and understand it. So when people say train your chest, they mean the pectoralis major. This is the muscle. This is the official name for the chest, pectoralis major. There is another pectoralis minor. It's under pectoralis major, but for our purpose, we don't need to know that. So pectoralis major, the chest has 3 parts, and you know those: the clavicular part, the sternal part, and the costal part. Now, usually people say the upper chest, middle chest, and lower chest, but this is just some extra information. All of them is good to know that all of these parts are active while doing regular flat press, but we can still focus on the clavicular head, the upper chest, with some incline work. All right. Choosing the best exercises. I want to give you the specific advice. Just do this and you will grow your chest. Because I remember when I was a beginner and I would search for information on the internet, there was no one telling me, okay, just do this, turn your brain off and just do this, follow this. Okay, I would just find general advice, general information for general thing, you know. So this is what I want to do in this video, just give you the specific advice, just follow this and do this, all right? So, choosing the best exercises. There are a lot of them. So first, check the equipment that you have access to. So either you train at home or you train at the gym, I don't care, but check the equipment that you have. After that, I want you to try as many exercises as you can. It's very important to just start training as fast as possible, not just trying exercises. So try these in a workout or in a few days, in a week maximum, and just try those. So dumbbell flat press on a flat bench with the dumbbells. Then incline dumbbell press, about 30 degrees, you don't have to go more. Pec deck, the one that goes like this. Machine flat press and incline machine flat press and cable crossovers. Try those. There are more, but I would say just those are the most, the best exercises for you. Then, after you try all of those, find which one you like the most, gives you the good work for your chest and does not hurt your shoulders. You only need to pick 2 or 4. If you pick 2, it's good. You can also pick 3 like I did and you switch them a bit. Now, how to structure your chest work. Your chest work will look something like this. And I'm going to give you an example for the basic push day, because I think most of you are following the push-pull legs split. So on Monday, you're going to do something like dumbbell flat press and then pec deck. So you have an exercise where you push, you get a good range of motion. And the second exercise is going to give you another angle, a different angle, and you're going to bring your chest together. So you're going to do those 2 exercises on Monday. You're going to train hard, control, everything that I told you. Then you're going to do shoulder, and the tricep exercise. And then on Thursday, you're going to switch from the dumbbell flat press to incline machine press. And then again, pec deck. Then shoulder, triceps, and all that stuff. This is how you change a bit the exercises, just to have a variety and you hit your chest from different angles. And this is just my example, but there are more ways to do this, but I just wanted to give you an idea on how you can do it. And just a quick side thing, this is me when I followed Bro Split, when I first started training. And this is me when I changed every single thing and I started to do everything that I teach you in these videos. How often should I train my chest? This is a very good question if you were asking yourself this question. So 2 times per week is more than enough. Start with 2 and you can experiment with 3 times, but it gets more complicated because when you train or any muscle, more often, then you need to change the volume that you do. So basically how many sets, how many reps, the intensity, how hard you train, because you need to recover for the next session. Because what's happening, if you train 2 times a week, you can train Monday and then Thursday, and you have plenty of time to recover. You can train hard. But if you start to train your chest 3 times a week, let's say Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, then you cannot train with that much intensity, because on Monday, if you train that hard, you're not going to be recovered until Wednesday. So you cannot train on Wednesday. You have to train on Thursday. So that's why I say it gets more complicated. As a complete beginner, I recommend the program that I made. It's the first link in the description, and a bunch of more stuff there. But what you can also do is full body 3 times a week to start with. And that's a very good program for beginners. You train your full body, entire body, Monday. You can choose the days, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, let's say. Some programs that you can use to implement this advice, besides full body, you can do push-pull legs, upper body, push-pull legs, push-pull, or upper and lower body. These are all good examples. And with all of these, you can implement the advice that I gave you. There are more ways to structure your program, but I just gave you some popular ones. So how many sets should you do? I would say aim to get about 15 sets per week for your chest. But then I would say also experiment with 10 or 20 sets per week. So what's happening if you go closer to 10 sets per week, that's the minimum. You have to train with a greater intensity because you do less sets. But if you go close to 20, you're going to have to train with less intensity because you need to do more sets. So I'd said 15 just to be in the middle, but you can definitely experiment with that and choose the one that you like. Just keep in mind that the more volume you do, the less intensity you can put in. Just like I told you, if you go closer to 20. For a complete beginner, start with 1 set per exercise and you build from there. So that means if we go back to this example here, you're going to do 1 set. You're a complete beginner and you go to the gym and you do this. 1 set of dumbbell flat press, 1 set of pec deck, 1 set shoulder, 1 set shoulder, 1 set to tricep. Thursday again, 1 set. Next week, when you have to repeat this, if you see how you felt the last week, and if you didn't feel sore, you think you can do more, you add 1 more set again. So you do 2 sets of this, 2 sets of this, 2 sets of this, and then again 2 sets of this. Next week, if you think you can do it, you add 1 more set and you do 3 sets for each exercise, or you can keep 2, adapt, and then do again. How many reps? Anywhere from 5 to 30 is best. Again, experiment for yourself because everyone is different in terms of training. Try low reps, close to 5, 5 to 10. High reps, close to 20, close to 30, and see which one gives you the best results. For me, for the chest, it's about 8 to 12, and sometimes pushing to 15 if I work on the reps, and then I would I increase the reps to get to 15, and then I would increase the weight. So this is what we're going to talk about now, progressive overload. What you'll do is to make the exercise harder over time. After you pick your exercises, stick to those, and then if you do dumbbells, you're going to add 1 to 2 reps with the same weight from the previous week, and then in time you're going to add 2 kilograms. And if you do machines, you're going to add 2 kilograms and then reps. But overall, chase small wins and be consistent. And if you're wondering how often should you do this, you're going to do this every single week. So every single week, you're going to look at your program. Okay, for the dumbbells, I'm going to add 2 reps. For the machine, I'm going to try to add 2 kilograms. If I cannot add kilograms, I'm just going to add more reps. And then next week, I'm going to work on the weight. Okay, let's talk about the diet. You will make sure that you eat enough calories. You need to provide enough raw materials to build the muscle. So the simple rule here, do not gain more than half a pound per week. Now, this works for me. This rule works for me because of my body fat and or my current physique. But just for everyone, if you are skinny fat or fat, you may want to lose the fat first and then apply this rule. But let's say you want to bulk or whatever you want to do, make sure don't gain more than half a pound per week. I think this is just such a good rule. Don't gain more than half a pound per week, because if you do, it's gonna be hard for you to lose that fat without losing muscle. So please trust me on this. Now, you don't have to track everything all the time. You could do let's say a week or two with MyFitnessPal and start tracking everything just to get an idea. That's good to do, but you don't have to do that. Just be aware of the food that you eat. Read the food label. So if you eat a fucking 1 pint of ice cream with 1,000 calories, just be aware that it's 1,000 calories in that food. All right, just be aware of it. Then you'll make sure you get enough protein. So that's going to be the building blocks of your muscle. So the general rule that I want you to follow: 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So if you hop on the scale and you see 190 pounds, you're going to need around 190 grams of protein to eat every single day. Also, try to spread the protein equally in every single meal. So if you want to eat 4 times a day, you're going to take your daily protein intake and split it, divide it by 4. And you see how much protein you need in every single meal. Improving your sleep, that's also very important, because if you have the perfect training and the perfect diet, but you don't sleep, you're not going to gain any muscle. So from the research I made and what I tried and worked very well for me, here's what can help. White noise while sleeping. You can do that with Spotify or anything like that. Non-sleep deep rest protocol just before going to sleep. You follow that for 10 minutes and it's going to help you relax. Keep the room cold, just enough so if you don't have a blanket, it's very cold for you, do that. And eat last meal 3 hours before sleep. For some, this doesn't bother them, but for me, I cannot go to sleep digesting food. Having a sleep routine / ritual that you follow every single evening is going to help your brain think that, okay, he's getting ready for sleep. Turn off the lights in the evening because your brain is going to think that it's still day outside. Consistent wake up time and going to sleep. That's a very good one for me. So even though I might go to sleep late one night, but I have consistent wake up time, I'm just going to wake up at that time fresh. That's how it is for me, at least. Do not use your phone in bed because your brain thinks it's a sofa instead of a bed to sleep. I think these are the most important things that you can do to optimize recovery. And of course, you may not be able to keep the room cold, but at least try all the other things. I think that's going to help you. And these are all the ones that helped me and work for me. Now, if you click right now on the link below, you're not only going to get access to my workout program that I used to build my body, but a whole bunch of more stuff. Go click the link below once you're ready, because that's a really good offer waiting for you.